do have a name.
My name is Gladiator.
How dare you show your back to me? Slave! Will you remove your helmet and tell me your name?
It's official, we're getting a Gladiator 2. That's right. Time to dust off your swords and sandals because we're heading back to the arena. Remember the epic tale of Maximus, the Roman general turned gladiator, battling against corruption and betrayal? The original movie was a massive hit, earning heaps of cash and nabbing a bunch of Oscars. So naturally, expectations are sky high for its sequel. But fear not, we've got you covered with all the juicy details. From who's behind the camera to who's stepping back into those iconic togas, we're dishing out the scoop on Gladiator 2. So what's the deal with the title? Well, initially, Paramount Pictures was tossing around names like Untitled Gladiator Sequel, or simply Gladiator 2. But guess what? At CinemaCon in April, they dropped the official title bomb. It's stylized as Gladiator 2. Now onto the juicy casting news. Paul Mescal from Aftersun is stepping into the shoes of Lucius, the offspring of Lucilla and nephew of Commodus, originally portrayed by a young Spencer Treat Clark. Connie Nielsen is making a comeback as Lucilla, and we're all thrilled about it, especially after her teasing and eagerness to reprise the role in an EW interview back in 2020. Then there's Derek Jacobi, reprising his role as Gracchus, and Joseph Quinn from Stranger Things taking on the role of Emperor Caracalla. And let's not forget Denzel Washington, who's playing some mysterious nobleman or senator with a rebellious streak. He seems to be mentoring Lucius as he navigates the arena. Adding to the mix, Fred Heschinger is stepping into the role of Emperor Gaeta, a part that was initially eyed by Barry Cohen but had to pass due to scheduling clashes. And from the first glimpse at CinemaCon, it looks like the sequel's main antagonists, Caracalla and Gaeta, are keeping that megalomaniacal spirit alive and kicking. There are more stars in the lineup, but their characters are still under wraps. Keep an eye out for May Calamawy, Lior Raz, Peter Menza, Matt Lucas, and Pedro Pascal from The Last of Us and The Mandalorian. As for Russell Crowe and Joaquin Phoenix, well, considering their characters met their demise in the first film, it's highly unlikely we'll see them returning in the flesh for Gladiator 2. Russell Crowe himself hasn't indicated any involvement yet. In fact, he mentioned feeling a tad jealous about the project, according to a chat with Collider. But hey, in Hollywood, anything's possible. Ghostly cameos or flashbacks could still happen. After all, Maximus did leave us with that memorable line, "What we do in life echoes in eternity." Now on to the big question. Is Ridley Scott back in the director's chair? You bet. The man behind the original film, who snagged an Oscar nod for Best Director, is helming the sequel. Plus, he's got a powerhouse team backing him up, including Michael Pruss, Douglas Wick, Lucy Fisher, and David Franzoni in the production department, with Raymond Kirk and Nigel Wool as executive producers. And who's crafting the story this time around? David Scarpa is taking the reins on the screenplay. You might know him from works like The Day the Earth Stood Still and The Man in the High Castle, not to mention his previous collaborations with Scott on projects like All the Money in the World and Napoleon. Looks like we're in good hands for another epic journey into the arena. Now, let's dive into the fun stuff, the theories swirling around Gladiator 2. Historians, Reddit enthusiasts, and movie buffs have joined forces to cook up some wild ideas. They're taking the little tidbits of info we have about the movie and mixing them with ancient Roman history to craft some seriously intriguing theories.
Whatever comes out of these gates, we've got a better chance of survival if we work together. Do you understand? If we stay together, we survive.
Pedro Pascal plays a gladiator out for revenge. Recent footage from Gladiator 2 shown at CinemaCon spills the beans on Pedro Pascal's role. He's portraying another Roman general turned gladiator. According to Brian Truitt via USA Today, Pascal's character is depicted as a weary warrior returning from conquest, reluctant to keep sending young men to their doom in battle. There's a hint of rebellion in the air, and Pascal's character seems to be caught up in it. In the trailer, we catch glimpses of Pascal's character clashing with Lucius in the Colosseum, suggesting that his desire for peace might not sit well with Emperor Caracalla, played by Joseph Quinn. This tension sets the stage for a conflict that could only end in one of them meeting their demise at the hands of the other. Adding fuel to the fire, a Reddit user named Jimmy Costigan speculates that Pascal's character might seek vengeance for Lucius's death at the hands of Caracalla. Maximus never died. Despite Russell Crowe adamantly denying any involvement in Gladiator 2, fans aren't quite ready to let go of the hope that Maximus might make a surprise comeback. After all, it wouldn't be the first time an actor fibbed to keep a role under wraps. The speculation surrounding Maximus's potential return spans from the plausible to the fantastical, but one straightforward idea suggests he never actually bit the dust in the first place. Apparently, Crowe's agent even pitched this notion as a possible route for his return during the years of Gladiator 2's development. Picture this. A sneaky plot twist unfolds later in the movie where Lucius, knee-deep in Roman political intrigue, unexpectedly crosses paths with Maximus once more. Maybe Maximus has been lurking in the shadows all along, offering sage advice and shedding light on the tumultuous state of Rome. Sure, Maximus's resurrection seems like a long shot and a risky move, but hey, stranger things have happened in Hollywood. Gladiator 2 will show more territories of the Roman Empire. Caracalla and Gaeta hailed from the Severan dynasty, marking the twilight of the Roman Empire's rule. Their father, Septimius Severus, seized the mantle of emperor amid the tumult that followed Commodus's demise. Historians, intrigued by this familial connection, have been weaving potential plots for Gladiator 2. In a lively discussion on a History Hit episode, archaeologists Dr. Simon Elliott and Tristan Hughes mused over the idea that Septimius's legacy could open up new vistas for the sequel. Born in the Roman provinces of North Africa, a setting familiar to Gladiator, Septimius expanded his reach into Africa and Britain during his reign. Elliott and Hughes propose that Gladiator 2 could delve into these territories, showcasing their architectural marvels and their pivotal roles in the Roman Empire's political and economic landscape. An additional Roman emperor will appear in Gladiator 2. The aftermath of Commodus's reign might or might not feature in Gladiator 2. It's a pivotal period known as the Year of Five Emperors, reminiscent of the power struggles we've seen in Game of Thrones. Imagine 5 different dudes vying for the title of emperor. The chaos finally settled when Septimius Severus stepped into power. But before him, Pertinax was the official successor to Commodus. He was quite the underdog story, rising from the ranks of a freed slave son to military bigwig, governor, and finally, emperor. Dr. Elliott is crossing his fingers for Pertinax to make an appearance in Gladiator 2, and there's some speculation about who might be playing him. Keep an eye on Matt Lucas and Tim McInerney. Their roles are shrouded in mystery for now. Though McInerney's listing as Thrax on IMDb, a type of Roman gladiator, might make him a less likely candidate. And hey, if Pertinax does make the cut, it means the movie's timeline will have to kick off early enough to include Septimius Severus's reign. Lucilla is dead and will appear in flashbacks in Gladiator 2. Rumor has it that Gladiator 2 might feature some flashbacks, especially since Alfie Tempest is stepping into the role of a young Lucius, taking over from Spencer Treat Clark, who's grown out of it since Gladiator. Lucius's return to Rome is tinged with the search for his mother, but he might uncover some grim news. She could be dead. Historically, Lucilla met a tragic end at the hands of her own brother, and while the first film spared her, she still might have faced trouble from another emperor and met a similar fate. If so, Lucilla would likely only appear in flashback scenes in Gladiator 2. Now, if her demise was orchestrated by Caracalla or Gaeta, it sets Lucius on a clear path of seeking revenge. It seems Gladiator 2 is sticking to the revenge theme of the original movie, with Lucius, Pascal's character, and Denzel Washington's character all possibly driven by this motive. Lucilla's death could add an intriguing layer to the dynamics between these 3 characters, while they're all seeking vengeance, but might find themselves as both allies and adversaries throughout the story. Well, that's it for today. For now, make sure that you like our video, subscribe to the channel to get updated, and do not forget to hit the bell icon to never miss an update. Thanks for watching the video, and we'll see you at the next one.